All right. Well, hi everybody. Welcome back to Boom Bust Radio. This is episode 3, and I'm just here with my friend Oolkki, and we're gonna talk about boss strike stuff this week.
Yeah, boss striking guilds. Pretty hot topic right now, considering that Andrew just dropped, what was it, like this week or just last week, the UI stuff for guilds. It got people talking about, I don't know if you guys have been watching BNAP streams, but pretty much every stream he's like, "You guys think guilds are coming out this weekend?" Which, do you think guilds are coming out this weekend?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't. I think that the earliest that they could possibly come out is probably next week. So, but I'm a bit of a doomer. I don't think that the updates, unless they like give us more consistent teasers in the general chat, because that's usually what happens, is like Alex or Andrew, they start trolling us in the general chat, they send out little pings here and there of stuff. So far we've only gotten like one leak of information, and I haven't seen any other announcements. So
yeah, I know they also said that they liked the reception that they got from announcing the level cap update at the start of October and like giving a set date for that.
Yeah,
so that kind of makes me think that they want to tell us when guilds are coming out.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, for something like that, I don't think they really need that much time, so maybe like a week before. I would love to see guilds come out soon. Simplicity said, definitely think it's not coming out this weekend. Yeah, it's pretty cope to think it's coming out this weekend, especially because the only thing that we've gotten regarding it is 2 teasers about how the UI should look.
Yeah.
And nothing else.
I forgot that that they did mention that they want to send out like dates for content to drop. So at most I think we might get like a date this weekend, but that's the most I think we get. I don't think anything else is happening.
That would be big. I mean, guilds aren't really even like that. It's not like content or anything.
No.
Like, it's cool to have them officially in the game.
We get to spend all our
and
gold, so that's something.
Yeah, finally. On something other than
upgrades. So that's about it. There's not really much.
That's literally it.
Yeah, and even if like you are doing pretty consistent upgrades, as long as you're clearing encounters, that's not even going down. Like, I think my gold has fluctuated within the same like 1 million range for a while. I'm at like 41 mil, and it's been about that for like a month. So
the only time it ever moves is up, and that's if I farm encounters. If I don't touch encounters, it doesn't move. It just kind of bounces around a little bit. I don't know. It's gonna be cool though to see all the people, because I know that there's a vast majority of people on being official that don't look into guilds, haven't even like looked into it at all. They have no interest in joining a guild till it's official, which I've always thought was kind of weird, because I always thought, okay, maybe they're not super involved on Discord, they don't know about the guilds or anything like that, but they are involved on the Discord, because I see these people talking all the time, but they're not a part of anything. So I don't think it's that. I don't know. I'd like to know what the mindset behind it is.
Yeah, Mystic mentioned that he'd rather them do a good update. That is the one thing I can remember how poorly the friends list went when it came out. I would like for them to have it done well, because I do not want to not be able to access the guild list and not be able to join or something. That would be really annoying.
I know. And then we get our names stolen by someone and we gotta pay them ransom.
That would be terrible. I didn't even consider that. But yeah, we're gonna have I mean, I know that we have like plans set up so that way we can get the names for our guilds and stuff like that, but imagine having the guild stolen. That would suck. That would be terrible.
That would be crazy. Imagine they go, because HSC is gonna be the first one to do. Imagine they go and steal like HSC 2.
No.
That would be something. I know they've mentioned like the possibility of Madrona allowing us to reserve names, which I feel like would be pretty easy. Like they know who the guild leaders are and such. They could probably just have the guild leaders like, DM them the name they want and like set that stuff up for them.
I wonder if
I don't know how they would do that on their end.
I don't know.
I hope that they do.
I don't think that they would.
I think it makes sense. You don't think so?
No, I don't think that they would. It would be nice. Like I would like to not have to worry about the possibility of our guild name being stolen and stuff, but I can't see them doing that. There's not like a reason for them to.
I don't know. I feel like to keep good faith and to not make it like I said, like with the scramble to get a name. I think it's a little ridiculous. Instead of just being like, okay, you guys can submit a ticket to have your name reserved, and we'll just like tag it onto whatever account sends it into us.
True.
Because I mean, they work pretty closely with the guild leaders, and they know of all the guilds and such. I mean, hell, Boris is literally in a guild, in MM. So
yeah,
I think it just makes sense for them. I think it would be a good idea for them too.
Oh, it would 100% be a good idea. I don't know. I can't personally see them doing that. Maybe my opinion is that it might look like they're favoring guild leaders or something like that. Giving them first dibs on names and stuff like that. So maybe they just want to try and avoid any third party like interaction in the community, but they also aren't they aren't super opposed to interacting with the community either. They've done some interesting things in terms of some of the drama that's happened. So
yeah, if they didn't want to breed like bad will with the community, they wouldn't have gone about the cheating stuff the way that they did.
Yeah, that's true.
I think they're ride or die with the people that are in there riding for them. And that's real. I mean, hell, they literally gave MM a list of all their cheaters and said, "Here you go, guys. These are your people."
yeah. I guess you're not wrong. So,
yeah, reserving a name is like the least.
It is kind of small beans, yeah.
Yeah, bad thing they could do. And if people think that that's like favoritism and stuff, like the guilds are established, bro. I mean, is it really that?
These
big
guilds
of a
have
deal?
been around for a bit now, so.
Yeah, I think it's in their best interest. I don't remember the simplicity. I don't remember how it was in old BN, but is it possible for guilds to have the same name? I don't see any other way for us to claim the name without us potentially getting sniped, unless the devs hold guild names for people. I wasn't even in a guild in the OG game. I was like 12.
Yeah, I don't know how it was in the original game, but yeah.
The name is unique. That's from Max.
I would figure that it's unique either way, even with my lack of experience. And yeah, that means that there's a potential for it to be stolen, which would suck. I'm sure that we could work out a way for us to get the name from whoever does snipe it, if that did happen. But I think avoiding that situation would be preferable.
Realistically, you want real favoritism, Madrona would totally do guild leaders a solid if that actually happened.
Oh, 100%. Like, imagine like P-War or HSC's name gets stolen by some random. They'd probably just give it to the actual guild leaders, if I'm being honest. So
yeah, I think they would.
Unless it's actually, you know what? It is kind of a little bit of favoritism, because I bet if the same thing happened to like a smaller guild, they might not be as inclined to do that. But some of the guilds that have a few hundred people,
who gives a crap?
Yeah, I mean, there's the top few guilds that have a lot of people, and I think that they're more likely to get their names for sure. The smaller guilds, if they have a cool name, they might be stolen. So
hey, you're in most of the guild servers, right?
yeah, I'm in a decent amount.
Do you have a favorite small guild?
A favorite small guild?
Yeah, like one that you like kind of look at often and you're like, oh, I hope they do well.
Honestly, all of the small guilds have been gaining a decent amount of traction. So the ones that were previously small or smaller have gotten a little bit bigger. Like Free to Win has gained a little bit of traction. I know they're still kind of small. I don't know.
Members now. The interview did good.
Yeah, that's true. See, this is the thing, that all the interviews kind of hyped them up a little bit. I like the leader of Uwu Prowlers, so
Zio. Yeah, Zio's pretty cool.
Yeah, Zio's pretty cool. So he has that going for him. Other than that, all the other guilds that I'm in are actually decently large at this point. So I think my answer is Uwu Prowlers, even though they're still on the larger side. They're a little bit smaller than the rest.
Oh yeah, they've grown a lot.
Yeah,
I think they found themselves a good niche.
Oh, for sure.
To kind of fit in and make a name for themselves. So good on them. What do you think? All right, do not include CN in this.
You are not escaping the question though. What's your favorite small guild?
Oh, mine sleeper pick.
Yeah.
UED.
Oh yeah, I forgot. See, that's the thing. There's also a bunch of them. There's a lot of guilds popping up that it's hard to keep track of them all. Yeah, you're not wrong. UED does seem like they have some traction going, so that's actually a good pick. I like that.
They keep to themselves quite a bit, but I'm in their server as a visitor.
Yeah, and I see them around.
Like super active. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Okay, so what were we gonna say?
I talk in their chat sometimes. Nothing. I was just gonna ask. Okay, what do you think the top 5 guilds are right now? Don't include CN because I literally don't know anything about them other than I know that they got some crazy players over there.
Okay.
You think?
Yeah. Okay. Not including CN is fine. And this is just for boss strike performance, right? We're not actually we're not ranking the guilds. Well, this is just how we think that they're gonna place.
Top 5 on there.
Okay.
What do you think the top 5 will look like for boss strike placements? No, in no order. It doesn't have to be in an order.
Okay. Well, the top 3 are, in terms of boss strike performance, are definitely gonna be, in my opinion, and this is biased, of course, P-War, HSC, and MM. I know MM's been looking a little bit shaky recently, but I think that they still have a decent amount of good players still, so they're probably fine. After the top 3, it's those final 2 that are kind of a hard pick. I know that there's a lot of people in the Empire, so...
A ton of people in the Empire. It's like, nobody really talks about them, but they're like low-key.
Yeah, it might be a numbers game for them, because I haven't seen any particular strong hitters from the Empire, but I know that there's a lot of people there. Then there's BSR, and they used to be a hard hitter in the old Battle Nations, so I am keeping an eye out for them. RR's decent. They've got some decent members in there, and their recs aren't too bad. And then there's BNA, and the only thing I really know about BNA is that they've been gaining a lot of members really fast. So
BNA blew up from all their advertisements in terms of members. I remember whenever I first joined the server, they were at like, I think like 70 or 80 members. Now they're at like 279.
So
some around that.
I think I'm gonna cheat the question a little bit. My top 3 for sure are HSC, P-War, and MM. I'm gonna say the remaining people that I'm actually keeping an eye out for are BSR, BNA, and the Empire. Those are the ones that are at the top of my mind pretty frequently in terms of how they're gonna perform. So everything else, it's kind of an unknown factor for me, but those are the ones where I think that they've been gaining a lot of traction with members. Like, you know, for example, I think BNA was at like only a few people, and then they shot up to like 100 plus over like only a few days. So it's stuff like that, which makes me think that they're probably going to do pretty good in the boss strike relative to some of the smaller guilds. What about you?
Yeah, my top 3 is the same. Real quick. Simplicity, real question. I'm not sure if you're allowed to say on here, but how ready do you think HSC is for boss strikes? And what do you think our results will be like? You're the first one. I don't know if I can answer that question since it's going on YouTube. If you want my media trained response, you know, we got a great group of guys out here.
Okay.
Got a lot of competitors. They work hard every single day. Always put 100% into the work. You know, they got that heart. I think we're gonna do real good.
Okay. Wow. Let's see. Let me think about the question.
For my real response, we can cut this out if we need to. Just cut away on it. Since this is HSC, let's cut this out, and I'll just answer honestly. I think we're in a pretty good spot, honestly.
Well, that could have gone up on YouTube. That's not a problem. Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good.
There can literally just be a cut. It doesn't really need to be, you know. There was a time where I was worried. I don't think I'm really worried anymore.
No, I'm not worried.
A lot of our members have been making like great leaps in progress, moving up for boss strike. Of course, you know, the squad leaders are also getting prepared and such. But looking at the like roster that we have now, I'm pretty confident. I'm almost certain that we're gonna be like top 5 guild.
Oh yeah.
If we don't, it's gonna be like a crazy sleeper guild that nobody has talked about so far, that swoops in and takes a top 5 spot. I just don't see that happening though.
Yeah,
I feel like the guilds are
100%.
they're too well known for anything like that to happen. Still need to see 7 repair base from some people.
Well,
Is 6 not enough? 6, 7? Sorry.
Okay. Well,
We can cut that out too.
only the craziest of us are actually building that many repair bays. But yeah, I think that HSC is in a really, really good place. I'm not worried about making top 5. It's shooting for like top 3 that might be a little bit more challenging.
But that's gonna be tough. Oh, do you think a guild will hit tier 15 in this boss strike?
No.
I don't either.
Unless
okay. I'm glad that we're on the same page.
Unless we macro. Unless somebody's macroing, that's the only way I see a guild hitting tier 15. Because there's no way that anybody is putting that much time into the game. And this is from somebody that was sweating the game for a little bit. I'm willing to sit at my computer for way too long and play and get some boss strike points, but I don't see anybody reasonably getting tier 15. So
no, my thing with tier 15 is I think it will be doable later in the future when we have a better roster of units and more players in the game. I think the biggest thing holding guilds back from tier 15 is just the lack of like super high tier players, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
because there's only like, you know, not counting alts and stuff like that, there's probably only like 15,000 at the most active players, and most top grinders are not waiting for guilds to drop to join a guild, you know what I mean? They're already found their guild that they want to be in. So I don't think any guild is like structured enough, if that makes sense, to 100%. Make it to tier 15.
Yeah, no, I mean, and even to add on to that, it's not only about like having an account prepared to put up those kinds of numbers, it's also the fact that it's just a time commitment, and there probably isn't enough time reasonably in a day to actually hit tier 15 unless you know, shirk off all responsibility or you macro. Like I just don't see. And the other thing is you need every single person in your guild to put up some ridiculous numbers. It's not like one person can carry.
Tier 15 is 13 hours a day, yeah. The biggest problem right now is that clears are going to take so long because our units are just not that good.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing holding people back.
Yeah, 100%.
Once we start getting better units, yeah, I think that tier 14 is going to be the highest that people push. We need better AOE. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. AOE clear to shorten it? Yeah, for sure. We don't really have...
Yeah, as soon as we get promos, I will change my answer.
Over.
I will change my answer. But for right now, we're working with like the vanilla units. Yeah.
Yeah, death from above? Oh, we're locked.
No. No. I mean, I'm still going to buy one, but it's not going to be good. And it's definitely not going to help me with my boss strike. So...
Yeah, I want to collect everything. So that will be in my collection. I don't know. Guilds are going to max out tier 14, and then at that point, it's just going to be who can push the furthest into tier 14.
Yeah, 100%.
Unless Madrona... Okay, I don't know how they're going to do their leaderboard. This just popped into my mind. What if Madrona doesn't do leaderboards based off of point totals? They do it based off of speed reaching that tier. So they don't tell us how many points a guild has in a tier. They just tell you what tier a guild is in and how fast they got there. So the number 1 guild will be the first guild to hit tier 14, and they can be like, all right, you guys can stop here. You know, you're not hitting tier 15. It's too much.
Interesting.
And this is where you stop.
Well, even I personally think that that's going to happen anyways, in terms of like, that's going to be done by the community. Is we're all just gonna track how fast each guild hits a certain tier. So it's already gonna happen. I don't think that I would want it actually implemented into the game by the devs personally. The idea is cool as like a community done thing, right? If that was how boss strikes were actually done, I don't think that I would enjoy them as much. I like seeing the numbers and all that stuff, and everybody's gonna be posting screenshots relentlessly of the tiers that they hit. So I'm sure that all that information is going to be, you know, public anyways. So
Yeah, I'm gonna be posting that stuff.
Oh, 100%.
So
That's the best advertisement for your guild possible. It's just showing what
Look
tier
at
you got.
me! I hit this many points.
Exactly.
So obnoxious.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's see.
like if I hit 5 million points, you best believe that everybody's gonna know about it.
Oh, Max, I just got another HSC member, so that ties me up with Mandalore and Taco.
Oh my god, this guy.
Sorry, I had to brag real quick.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't even answer my top 5. My top 3 is the same as yours.
Okay,
wow. Us and P War. But what do you think about PSC?
I haven't seen many people repping the tag is the only issue, in my opinion. So I don't know who is in PSC besides BNAP, obviously.
The only person I knew who was in PSC was Sim, and they've left to P War like months ago. I think they were in PSC for like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, and this isn't to say that there's there's definitely good members within PSC.
No, they definitely got some
there's at least like a handful. Every guild has a handful, but I just haven't seen them around. I have to guess that they all just talk within the guild chat, because I know that a lot of the HSC members just talk within the guild chat. So really the only frame of reference you get is when one of us talks in the main chord and we start bragging about something random. I'm sure that's so. I bet other people feel the same way about the guild and stuff, but I don't know. I think that they'll do okay.
Of top guilds, I feel.
I
they
just
stay
don't know
pretty
much.
like secretive.
Yeah.
I mean, chatting, they do a lot of chatting, but in terms of like talking about how strong they are, like it's kind of just like an acknowledgement of strength more so than actually seeing anything.
Oh,
mainly just because Ball Strike hasn't come around, so we don't really have,
So are you including
PSC
in your top 5?
No. Mystic said, I feel like we haven't heard enough of PSC to make a judgment. Yeah, I agree. I kind of just threw them on there because they are also big.
They're big, yeah. They have a decent amount of numbers.
What do you think about Birch Tree? They've got like 300 plus members.
That's just in the Discord. I don't know how many are actually a part of the guild. So, and I've only seen like 2 people actually post like progress on their account and stuff. I haven't seen much from the other members. And not to be like a Debbie Downer, but if like a lot of their members are newer players, that's not going to help a whole lot during the boss strike. So I don't know what their guild is looking like right now, but I know that they have been doing a decent amount of advertising and getting some of the newer players. So I don't know if that's going to translate into high tiers. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I don't know. They could do good off of volume. Really now thinking about it, I feel like we know so little about a lot of these guilds.
For sure. I mean, that's why there was like a whole interview series done by, AP and stuff. But
AP, yeah.
Yeah, the problem is that even with the interviews, a lot of them are pretty hush-hush about their progress and stuff like that. So
I feel like that's, I mean, we're the same way, so I feel like that's pretty respectable on their end.
Yeah.
Should we stay secretly? Yeah. No need to, I mean, like, posting grind updates and stuff like that is fine. But I don't think that we should be like flaunting.
No,
I think it's a little much.
Yeah, it gets annoying when you start seeing some people like bragging all the time, but posting like the occasional.
I'm gonna talk about your video.
Yeah, literally. But posting the occasional like picture or video or whatever of your guild's progress isn't a bad thing to get some people interested, especially more of the whaley players or the really grindy players. They're going to be drawn to other players that are around the same level of commitment to the game. So I don't think that you should be open about your guild. That's just asking for people to try and snipe members from you. But
yeah,
you gotta entice people, right? Like right now we don't have boss strikes.
Yes,
What else are you gonna bring people into the guild with?
Yeah, I feel a lot of. I mean, we kind of even follow this as like we got vibes, we got some grinders, and that's about it.
Yeah, pretty much. Like
Not
there's
really a whole lot to show out here.
exactly. Once we have
Aside
boss strikes
from,
or
like-
PvP, it'll be way more dynamic in terms of getting new members.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of it's just based off of vibes, and I'm fine with that. You know, I think that you should pick a guild, especially right now, based off what you vibe with, and then figure things out later down the line.
Yeah.
You know, what do you like? You know, I like our community quite a lot, and that's, you know, a reason why, obviously, I've stuck around.
Yeah, that's why I stuck around as
But
well, because I was like very shortly in a guild before HSC, but I just left because I wasn't vibing with it, and then I joined HSC because they took me. So,
Man,
okay, they're
200 supers, but any boss drops though.
okay. Yeah, they're dogging me for my lack of boss drops, but see, I have to make up for it with wailing, right? That's how I cope with my lack of boss drops. I recently
Yeah,
did
that's
my
weird.
Dreadnought and my AC, and I got nothing yet again. I just didn't feel like sharing that, but you made me open up, so
Shame.
yeah.
What do you think about Goodfellas?
Goodfellas. They're doing okay. I know that some people recently went over to P-War, so I know that they lost a few hard hitters, but it seems like they still have a decent amount of dedicated grinders in the guild. So I know that the people that are still in Goodfellas are very committed to the guild, which is like
Yeah,
all
they
that you
love
can
it.
ask for. So I'm sure that they're gonna do okay. It's just they don't seem to have the sheer amount of numbers as the guilds that I listed previously. At a certain point, the boss strikes are just a numbers game of how many members do you have and how many people are willing to sit in front of their computer for way too long. And I don't
Yeah.
know how many people in their guild are willing to do that, because I don't think that they have the numbers part down. I know they're almost half. Well, I don't know. I actually don't know how many people they have currently, because like I said, some people did leave recently, but I know that they're over halfway full. I just don't know if they're at 2 guilds or 1 guild full. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, biggest issue is just volume of players. It's kind of slim pickings, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know, the people who found their place have found their place, and really all that's left is the crowd of people who didn't want to join a guild, like, you know, until they're officially in the game. And I mean, some new players and stuff, but there's not a whole lot left to kind of go around. There's some sleeper picks out there. Maybe they don't talk too much in the main court, or maybe they're just not too active, but there's, you know, the player base is small, the game's not being advertised. It's growing, but it's not getting anywhere. Oolkki is doing tickets while on radio. No, I'm not, guys. I just got a notification. I am playing Battle Nations though. You know, sorry, did you have something?
No, I was just listening.
Okay. In terms of boss strike, you know, I feel like Battle Nations for boss strike, as much as I love it and as much time as I'm going to put into boss strike, it is just a, you know, who has the time to grind endlessly and who can produce, you know, the most amount of stuff to be able to fuel that grind. Do you think boss strike should get a restructure of any kind to not be a grind fest as it is right now? Or do you like it as it is?
That's hard because it's difficult to imagine the boss strike as anything else, if that makes sense. I've only known it as, you know, a grind fest, and I'm sure there is a way to rebalance it and make it more interesting, but I don't know what you could possibly do to make it more interesting.
Yeah, first thought that came to mind is maybe like challenges, or maybe like challenge modifiers or something like that. Like you can earn more points maybe by like enacting certain modifiers on it, so it kind of pushes people to rank up a lot of different units to fit the modifiers that is presented.
Interesting.
Or maybe the boss strikes can just like have modifiers on them. I don't know. I feel like every idea in my head just comes down to grind, but I guess that's what this game just kind of is.
Yeah, the game is inherently
the only
grindy.
the only thing I don't love about boss strike is the amount of time that you have to put into it. I wish you could still earn a lot of points and put less time and kind of think through formations a bit more, if that makes sense. I think that they should do a lot of work on the enemy formations.
I think
maybe having them.
We mentioned something like this previously. Maybe not on an episode, but just in a conversation. But potentially making like different difficulties for your encounters, and just having it be, you can choose the easy route, in which it's just a grind fest and it's just a sheer amount of fights that you're doing, versus maybe a harder route. And if you have maybe some better units, or you know, you want to do interesting team comps and stuff like that, then you could go with the more difficult setup, and maybe you would get more points out of it. That could be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you know, higher. I don't know if you ever played Diablo.
Yes, I love Diablo.
Okay. You know, like Inferno difficulties. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. Like, you can literally scale your boss strike.
Yeah.
And I know that boss strike tiers are separated into, you know, level brackets and such, but I think it'd be really interesting if at your level bracket you could set it and be like, okay, enemies have, it can be simple modifiers too. They have, you know, 200% more health and do insert percent more damage or something like that, and it really tasks you to have high level ranked up units. You know, obviously we rank up our units to make our grind faster, but you know, can they be pushed? And maybe there's like less waves, but the enemies are tougher or something like that. And the higher you scale your modifiers, the more points you earn. And it can even be like, what was my train of thought? I totally just lost it.
No, you're good. I mean,
restricted units. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Certain like higher tier difficulties can restrict off certain, like let's say at the highest rank, this is when we have Plasma Arty, it's banned at the highest level. So, you know, you can do your grind at the highest level with a certain patch of units and then drop down to a lower difficulty and start using Plasma Arty to farm down there, you know. Yeah,
that would actually be pretty cool if there was like limitations on the units that you can use, or even if they had it to where you know, the enemy formations had, you know how like previously they said that they were going to break this cycle potentially, but having promo units release with the boss strikes, it'd be cool if like the enemy formations, you could opt for them to actually use the promo unit that comes along with the boss strike, and you could potentially get more points out of the harder formations and stuff like that.
That's sick. Maybe there can be like a boss modifier, and like your fifth wave is just a boss fight at the end. Obviously not to the same level as, you know, what you get out of AS originally, but like a weaker like they already did that in Boss Strike 10 with Vogel. Having him do an AC, it could be like that. You're tier 5. Shit, you can fight the strike leader as your fifth wave or something like that.
Yeah, there's definitely a way to make it way more interesting. But it all does just come back down to a grind. But I guess if the point was just to reduce the amount of time, then just making it like the harder fights are worth more points, and then you can just put in less time would be good.
I think toggleable modifiers is cool because everyone can kind of do this strike at their own pace depending on what type of units they have. You know, because right now it's like, oh, you don't have, you know, these key units, you can't, you're done. You're donezo, buddy. You know, you have no chance at participating. But if you could toggle modifiers and such, you could be like, okay, I have these certain units that are good in these situations. Let me tune the boss strike to me so I can still contribute to my guild. I'm cooking. Hold on. I'm actually getting hype explaining my own idea. You can, you know, tune the boss strike to your level of difficulty and still contribute to your guild without it just being, you know, stare at my computer like a freaking zombie all day and use the exact same formation to grind as many points as possible. You could, you know, enemy has fragments. That would be sick. Enable enemies to have specialized units. You know, enemies can spawn in with certain modifiers. Let's say that a silver wolf, you know, the AK dude, what's his name, Enforcer?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, the Silver Enforcer could have like a fire mod, and he does increase like his bullets do fire damage now, or something like that. Or all Silver Wolves do fire damage, straight up.
Ooh.
Something like that, and now it earns you an extra 10% points.
Oh yeah.
Because you can stack on a bunch of modifiers, and like I said, tune the boss strike to your level of difficulty, and still contribute.
Actually, being able to like change the damage types of the enemies would be really interesting. Like, say it's a unit that primarily does explosive damage, but if you toggled a certain modifier, they all do a different kind of damage, depending on what unit it is. Would actually be really cool, because that would make certain formations way worse and other formations way better. That would be pretty neat, actually. I do like the idea.
Do you think boss strikes should drop preset formations and transition to randomized formations?
Yes, and kind of.
Yes.
I think that, like, because honestly, it was pretty, like, before I looked at the wiki, I didn't realize that they weren't random. But once you actually look at it and you realize, oh, it's just certain formations, and I can, pattern recognize and set up the best formation for this enemy layout, it kind of makes it a little bit like a solved game. So...
Yeah, I hate the min-maxing. I'm sorry. I can't. I really don't like. We're gonna do it because obviously we want to be the best. But damn, I really want there to be. I want there to be competitiveness while also maintaining the spirit of fun.
Yeah, I think that I would like it to be a unit pool that the game can choose from, and then the layout on the board is random, because it's kind of how I assumed it already was. And that might make it... The only downside to it is you might get a really piss easy formation, in which case...
well, they could give units, how they do PvP value? They could give certain units a weight, and the formation has to add up to a certain weight.
Okay.
So the units can be random, but the weight, wave 1 can have weight of like 100.
Oh, actually, going in with that, you incorporate the toggles thing. The toggle should just raise, the weight in which, like, your parameters, basically. So, like, if you have a certain toggle turned up, then it just increases the difficulty of units that it can pull from. That would be a really good way to make it more difficult without having to like make a bunch of formations for each difficulty that you could choose from. If you just let it randomly place units and increase the range in which the weight is chosen, that would be a good solution, in my opinion.
Yeah. Obviously, it would have to be smart, like, not putting walls in the back row and stuff like that. So it can have unit favorability, I guess, like walls want to be placed in the first or second row. Certain units want to be here or there. I don't know how hard that would be for Madrona on their end, but I'm
sure they can figure it out.
I think that PvE, it has such untapped potential. By the way, that's our next week's topic, is going to be side content that they can add into the game, aside from major modes like Guild Wars and Boss Strike.
Yeah.
I would actually really like if the boss strike boss appeared in the final wave. Yeah, I think it would add a lot of personality to them. If we got to see them like actually be a part of the strike, I think it would be sick.
Yeah, I think
we
mentioned
literally
that last week.
Yeah, I think we did. I know there was a suggestion about it, I think, or I saw it somewhere.
It seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, Shroud can literally be like a retextured wolf thug that just does more damage.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just like in Lethal Company with monster values on different planets and modifiers. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So what we want is less grinding time and more difficulty. Yeah.
Well, at least for it to be an option, right?
Yeah. You can, like, let's say that your formation is more geared to, a longer grind. I don't know. I just think it's bad to force people who want to be competitive to have to put 5, 6, 7 hours a day into it. You know what I mean? Like, that's unemployment levels of gaming right there. And
well, I don't even have a problem with that so much, but it's the, like, I think Max said it earlier and you had read it out, but it's like 13 hours to get tier 15 or tier 14 or something like that. And it's like, if you could just raise the difficulty and get more points per fight, then you could feasibly actually get some of those higher tiers if you had enough players raise their difficulty up. In which case we could get way more rewards, because at a certain point you're literally limited by the amount of hours in a day. Like, you just don't have the amount of time to hit the crazy tiers. So if you could just increase your difficulty and get more points for it, like a point multiplier or something like that, then you can put in the same amount of time and get an even crazier tier rewards. So yeah, it just makes sense in my opinion.
And I think it rewards, in my opinion. Those hours are unrealistic for the majority, I'd say. Yeah, that's also why so many guilds are kind of, I think that they're encountering personnel issues. Like, there's just not enough people to go around. You are the exception. W Toto quote. I really like the harder tier, harder units equals more points. Kind of rewards the grind to R6. Yeah, and 100%. You can, like, excuse me, being able to lower your difficulty if you're not as caught up kind of allows you, like I said, to tune the boss strike to your level. So people can contribute no matter where they're at in the game, Free-to-play players don't have to do it at the hardest difficulty. Let's say they don't have the promo units, they don't have, all the time in the day to spend. I think that giving people options to still be competitive while not having to grind for hours and hours a day is good for the player base. Over time, I think people will want to stick around more, and I think it's more fun for Boss Strike to really, kind of pick the way that you play the game. People like choice. People usually don't like being just told what to do. They like being able to pick what they want to do. So I guess 3 different difficulty levels each boss strike, like base, moderate, and insane. Kinda, but I was thinking of more like toggles and sliders. What about an endless mode? We will talk about that next week. I will save that for next week. As much as I want to talk about it, I will save that for next week. It's kind of already implemented with Sovereign Navy and Shadow Navy. They set the foundation with that. Yeah, it can be something like that. I'm thinking more like toggles instead of just like, easy, medium, hard. It's like you can literally set, if you guys have ever played BTD6, there's stuff like least cash, least tiers, banning certain monkeys, banning certain upgrades. It can be stuff like that, increasing balloon speed, Moab speed, stuff like that, and health. You can choose what you want out of your enemies. Like, like I said with the Silver Wolf example, I want my Silver Wolves to start doing fire damage on all of their attacks. Yeah. We should play BTD6. Yeah, we can. That would be fun.
I think that it would be... I don't know. I like that idea. I also just like the idea of having it basically pull from a bunch of different unit pools, and it can just choose harder units for you to fight. Because I feel like it would probably be really difficult to implement. Well, maybe not really difficult, but it would be difficult for them to implement like a way for you to change the values of all the units versus just choosing from what's already in the game and then randomly placing them on the board. I feel like that would probably be easier, but both would. I would be happy with both.
But they might run out of units at a certain point, you know what I mean? They might have to make like special strike units that are extra difficult. Oh wait, Shroud's Elite. It can be like Silver Wolves in black. Oh wait, I'm cooking.
That could be pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
Okay. That would be sick. It's like special boss strike units. If you wanted to do just difficulties with weights, if I set mine to insane, that gives me units that are only viewable in a strike. Like, these are like the upper echelon units. They can have special abilities. Players can't obtain them. Oh yeah, that's cook right there. God, this game, I was talking about it earlier. This game has so much untapped potential to be like so good. I don't want Battle Nations to just be dumbed down to, well, it's a phone game and that's all it will ever be. Because in my opinion, I think it's very clear that Madrona doesn't want this game to just be a phone game. And I don't think it should be limited by that. Maybe I'm kind of projecting on a Madrona there, but I don't know. I want this game to succeed, and I think that there's so much that they can do with this game, and it makes me so excited to think about. Mystic said, what do you think if they rework the point system and make boss strikes 7 to 10 days? Honestly, compared to other games, 3 to 5 days for the game's biggest and most hype event is kind of short.
It is pretty short.
There's definitely pros and cons to it. It would lengthen the amount of time that you would have to play, if that makes sense. Like, no matter how hard I grind in the first 5 days, if I don't, like, let's say I grind super hard for the first 5 days and go, if let's say it's a week long, 7 days, and I go, okay, you know, I've reached where I wanted to be. Now I'm going to take a break. I've lost traction against people who will play all 7 days.
Yeah, I mean, every competitive guild is just going to make you play the max amount of
7 days. Yeah.
Days.
If you can't play all 7 days, you'll get kicked. You know, you won't be in the main guild. You'll be in the feeder. So you think it will hinder people's motivations? Makes sense. Yeah. I think the shorter time also allows people to kind of, you know, section off like a weekend
as well. There's going to be a lot of dead units after the fact, and
holy cow, the amount of dead units.
Yeah.
I'm making 12 repair bays now. Forget sticks.
Yeah.
Double or nothing. Give it to the next person. Yeah, I think it would just kind of toil out. I don't know how they would rework the point system to like accommodate that. No matter what they do, it's just who can put the most amount of time. That's why I want to do difficulty, to kind of make, like, if people are going to spend the time, make it as fun as possible, so that way they feel like their time is being rewarded, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that just having a reward to the time that you've already put in is also, it would just make people feel a little bit better about the wasted hours that they spent grinding like their super tanks or their heavy tanks or whatever stupid unit to R6, and actually being able to use them and get the full value out of it would probably feel a lot better, because I know that depending on what boss strike we get, we're either going to be decently strong or very underpowered, and actually being able to use your units to their full potential is going to be fun.
Oh, hold on. Okay, we need to take a quick break from guilds and boss strike, because Pearl just dropped a what units they believe should get buffs and nerfs in the guilds general. Hold on, I'm going to send this. How do I send this to the auditorium? There we go. It should be in chat for everyone to see. We're gonna go over this real quick because this has now piqued my interest. All right, you want to start at the top or the bottom?
We can start at the bottom.
Bottom is broken, top needs a buff. Okay. Would break the game wide open if added without heavy nerfs. Legendary Sandworm, Legendary Boar, Weapons Tech, and Mech Artillery.
Wait, and what was this a tier list for again? Let me see.
It's a promo unit balancing tier list
I see. Okay.
What units they believe like need buffs or nerfs to kind of make more sense. I don't know if it was for I
don't think it's just for boss strike. This is for the game in general. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what Pro said. Showing this as a first draft, essentially. Based on what I understand, this is my tier list of what level of rebalancing each promo unit would need before being okay to add to the game. So, like, just in a general
okay.
Good standing. Yeah, Boar is an interesting pick. I don't remember Boar being super. I know it has like just, you know, it's the only unit that does specifically cold damage, but I don't remember Boar being like super oppressive. Boar is just AS killer. Oh yeah, because cold damage. I was waiting for Max to respond. He's taking a little bit long. Not much use. Yeah, I don't remember Boar being super oppressive. Weapons Tech. Weapons Tech is also just a boss killer. You don't really find yourself using it in boss strike.
Yeah, a lot of these guys
really that
aren't.
Much.
The only one that's actually, well, I guess you could use Mech Art, but specifically the one that everybody is focused on is Legendary Sandworm.
Mech Artillery is ridiculous.
No, it's very strong. It's just, I don't know. Wouldn't you rather choose a more AoE intensive unit for the boss strike? Let me take a look at what it does.
Artillery?
Yeah.
I don't remember its attack power. Can you stream your screen? I want to be able to look at this.
Yes. Sure.
I'll go to the next tier. Needs substantial attention to not break the game. There is Wandering Samurai, Anti-Grav Tank, Legendary Mammoth, Legendary Raptor, Blood Ninja, and Mech Tank.
Here it is.
Is Mech Tank a bottom tier unit? Like being super OP? All right, let's see. I guess for single target, that's kind of your pick, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's strong, but I'm sure that there's probably some better options that are more versatile.
Nah, for PvP, Shell can make it a 7 versus 6. Max, are you talking about mech artillery? Also, Mystic said that begs the question. Yeah, he said yeah. Okay. Yeah, mech artillery is a little ridiculous. What do you think about mech tank? I feel like mech tank kind of fits in the overpowered cat. I don't think it's as good. Does it do shell? I don't know if it has shell. The debuff? Does it have a debuff? It does shell. Okay, it does. Yeah, okay, it's broken then. If it has shell, it's broken. That's pretty easy to go over. Let's see what else. Blood Ninja and Wandering Samurai. Blood Ninja is a little silly, for sure.
Blood Ninja's way too strong. That guy, I mean, again, he's mostly for killing bosses, it seems like, but I think that he should probably be nerfed slightly. I don't want a very big nerf if they do nerf him, but
yeah. Mystic said I'm biased, but Wandering Samurai was one of my favorite units in the game. I didn't think it needed reworking. Yeah, Wandering Samurai is sick. Its model is so cool, and so is its animations. I don't think it needs a nerf. I think it's strong, but I think it's I don't think it's overpowered. Let's see. Legendary Mammoth probably. I feel like Legendary Mammoth just needs a limit to 1 at a time. That's really it. It's strong, but I think it can be strong. I don't think there's a problem with having strong units in the game, as long as they aren't mech artillery and are ridiculously overpowered and not even like in line with anything else.
Yeah.
Max said Blood Ninja can be used like Treb Raptor Harness. Strong single target to delete 1 high priority. Nomad is pretty strong because it is immune to all status effects. Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty interesting. Plus EMP is Pog. I know people like the Nomad a lot. It has a lot of cool attacks.
I think it's
in a good spot.
When I was a little
Definitely
kid.
needs some nerfs. No, I think it's yeah, like I said, I don't think the Nomad needs a nerf. It was a good unit, but I don't think it was anywhere near broken. Yeah, I spammed the Nomad back in the day. MP was damn good. Yeah, I don't think there's any problem with having strong units. Let's see. Definitely needs some nerfs. Boom Bus, not after the first round it got.
Yeah.
That first round, oh my goodness. They said free-to-play unit is good. Not anymore. They took it straight out of the meta.
I don't know that some of these do need nerfs. I'm seeing the Imperial Fury. I've been convinced that it's
trash.
Not very good. Okay, it's a cool unit. It's a cool unit. It's cool, but I don't think that it needs a nerf. Maybe if it went up a tier could use a touch up, but
no, I think it should be top tier. Like, remember we compared it to Mauler? It's literally worse than Mauler in every single way.
Okay.
And Mauler is 25 nanopods, and Imperial Fury is like what, 70 or something?
I think it's 69.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Bring it up to the top
Unicorn
tier.
Troop, Railgun, the Ancient Sentry Head.
I don't think these guys need nerfs for the most part. The
Mech Trooper.
The Mech Trooper probably could use a little bit of a nerf. But that's the thing, is it depends on your perspective on the game, because some people they lean more towards the free-to-play side, some lean more towards the spending money side. Depending on your philosophy on the game, the units either do need to be like severely over or reworked and stuff like that, or they need to kind of stay the same. Because from like a perspective, if you're comparing it relative to the legendary sandworm, for example, I don't think that the Mech Trooper needs any changes, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't either. It's kind of just a boss killer.
But like, if you are comparing to the free-to-play units, then it's really strong,
sure.
Right? So I guess it just depends on your perspective. But I think that a lot of these are probably fine to remain how they are. I think that units like the legendary sandworm really tainted everybody's perspective on promo units as a whole. But I don't think that all of them are really that bad. Like, honestly, some of them are just like worse versions of a different unit. Or
the late game
terrible.
Promos really made a lot of people freak out and kind of put promos in this god tier spot. I don't remember the monster truck being OP. Yeah, me neither.
Yeah,
I don't remember that thing ever being seen.
No.
Let's see what else. For context, by the way, Pearl isn't. I don't think they're free to play, but they are casual. They are BSC.
Yes.
So, thank you, by the way, Pearl, for making this. If you end up watching this video, this is not a diss. We just wanted to talk about it. Let's see. The spear throwing Bigfoot, I remember being terrible. was it good and I'm sleeping? The atmospheric diving troop, I remember Atmosphere being pretty good. Atmosphere isn't broken though. He's like better attack sub. Yeah, I think he's in a good spot. Raider Recruit, was Raider Recruit good? I feel like it was bad.
No, see, that's the thing, is a lot of the I think the Zombie Slayer was only good at killing zombies. Like, I don't think it literally did, and even then I don't think it was the best option. Honestly, the only one in here is the jetpack guy. That's the only one that I would consider touching. The rest of them are kind of boring.
Jetpack?
Yeah.
He's all right.
Yeah, but like out of this tier, that's the only one I would consider giving a touch up to.
As in like a slight nerf?
Yeah, like just barely.
Yeah, probably.
The rest of them could probably go
everything...
up to keep them the same.
Yeah, or maybe even a little buff. I think the top two tiers are pretty good as is. Although I do think most of these could be added to the game. Honestly, probably needs a buff. We can change that to definitely needs a buff. Death from Above is completely awful. That thing is so bad. The Flak Turret, that thing is terrible. So is Imitation Fragment is bad. All the stuff in the top tier is terrible. All those could use a buff for sure.
Yeah, everything in the top two could use a buff, if I'm being honest here. Besides maybe the Deadeye or whatever it was called. I don't remember. Yeah, besides that one, I think all of them could use a buff, because I don't think they were at all useful past like the moment in time that they were released. After that, I think they fell off pretty hard. But
looking at this list, promo units were really not that big of a deal.
No, they were just cool.
There is a handful. There is a handful that are like, game breaking.
Yeah.
And then everything after that has like situational uses or isn't that great overall. Like
pretty much.
Thinking, yeah, maybe this is something I could bring up. I think, maybe. Nah, most promos were mid to bad. Yeah, looking at this, it really doesn't seem like promos were that big of a deal.
No.
I hear a lot of people talk about how promos were so oppressive and they did this and they did that. But I mean, like I said, looking at this list,
you want my honest take?
It really, go for it.
I think what it is a lot of nostalgia and negative feelings of not being able to get the units when we were kids that makes people want them to be changed in some way. Because I know as a kid I wanted all of these and I thought they were all ridiculously broken because of like the things that I would see about them, but they really just aren't all that. And I think that's all that this really is that there's like a handful of units that really shaped your nostalgia goggles on how strong these units were, but for the most part they're all just terrible.
Yeah, for sure. Max just said most promos were mid to bad. The problem is you only need a few units for boss strike, so 3 OP units already mess up the game. Yeah, you're spitting. This is pure spit right now.
Yeah.
It's literally like, what do people talk about when they talk about promos? They talk about legendary animals.
Yep.
The mech stuff.
Yep.
And that's it.
Well, and I guess the Blood Ninja and the Wandering Samurai. But other than that, well, and then the Boom Bust, but that was free to play.
They're not even overpowered. I'm gonna go on that legend. They're not even. They are strong at what they do, and like that's it. I mean, they're not boss strike killers.
No,
the legendary animals are, and so are like
I think the
The mech
problem
units are
was that
just-
people used stuff like the Blood Ninja in the original game as like a placeholder for like when somebody had the Blood Ninja, they would never do the free-to-play methods to kill the bosses, right? They would just use their promo
Blood Ninja,
units.
'cause, yeah, that's
And
what
then-
he's good at.
And then they would, I guess that shaped everybody's perspective on what you needed to play the game. Maybe.
Yeah, you know what? I think you're cooking because a lot of it is like, if, for instance, whenever you go and look up ancient Sentinel kills on YouTube right now, what are you
this
gonna
is exactly
see?
what I'm talking about. It's like you would see videos of people only using the weapon tech and the Blood Ninja or the boar, and then that shaped your perspective of like, okay, well, if I want to do this content, then I need to have these specific promo units, and because they'll never come back, I can't ever get them. So I'm just not going to be able to do this content. And the problem with the original release of Battle Nations was that there was zero incentive to make any free-to-play content on the game. Like people
To
weren't
make it
theory
good because
crafting.
they wanted to make money.
They weren't
That's
theory
it.
crafting like, you know, there weren't people that are dedicated like how we have right now, where they're theory crafting like, oh, if you want to kill this boss free to play, then you need to grind these units up, and we need to wait till this specific level, and then you can do it. That I saw zero evidence of that in the original
That
release
never
of the
happened
game.
in the old game.
Yeah, and
Never
what would happen is like you would watch a video from like the 2 or 3 big YouTubers at the time, and they'd make a video on how to kill the AS or something, and then they'd say in their video, yeah, so you're gonna want to buy a Blood Ninja, and if you didn't get it, well, sucks, I guess. And so then as kids, we're just sitting there thinking like, oh, dang, I guess I can't kill the AS. I think that's why we all have like a really warped perspective on the promos, because it really is only like 3 units that were disgustingly strong.
It shaped the entire perception of the game for people to make them think that promos are unbelievably broken and can't be added. And now, honestly, looking at this tier list, I think that 90% of them are fine as is.
Yeah.
I don't think that they should change Wandering Samurai at all. I think if they dropped it in the game right now, it'd be strong.
Yeah.
It'd be good.
There's one more
but it wouldn't be
perspective to it though, which is that they definitely look way cooler than the default units.
Oh
So-
yeah. It also doesn't help that like most stuff that you can train in the barracks, most free to play units are terrible.
Yes.
There's a handful that are good and that serve a purpose. But when most of them are bad, why would I ever, use them when I can just buy something else and get a better unit?
Yeah.
But it's also just like, when did Battle Nation shut down? 2015? Literally like 12, 13 years of knowledge all being slammed into a, 13-year-old game all at the same time.
Yeah.
Gamers are way more advanced than they were back then. They can think through things, they can
Courtney.
problem solve. Bruh. No, they are. Like,
You're not wrong. It's just a
unironically.
funny way to say it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a little bit. But seriously, like, they were like brain dead back in the day. They're like, oh, we just put these units down and do. Nowadays, it's min-max to the shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
This game is as close to being solved as it can be. They dropped the dodge formula, solved the whole game.
Pretty much.
That's a little over exaggeration, but
No, but we have people running, calculations on which units would be best to take on XYZ content. Nobody was doing that in the original game. Everybody just saw a cool looking unit and they'd say, hey, I want to buy that and I want to use it. I'm going to rank it up to like not even the max level because I don't know. I'm bad at the game, I guess.
People were using rank 3 and 4 and 2 units in boss strike.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. But they would basically sit there and they'd only use the cool looking units and they'd just try and test it on whatever content they could. And if they didn't succeed on the very first try, they'd say, well, I guess I can't do this content. When nowadays we're finding out that like, well, you actually can clear this content free to play, but it's going to be a pretty low percentage chance for a while until we get stronger units. Really so I just think, like you mentioned, it's the level of player is just way better now. And we actually have dedicated people that are willing to figure this out for the community.
Yeah, you want a perspective on how bad the community was. I watched an old Spartan video. I'm pretty sure it was him, or maybe it was Battle Nations Bros. I can't remember. It was one of the two. But they did a top 10 units, troops ranking.
Yeah.
Number 7 was the Arctic Trooper.
Wow. No, it's
Like-
really broken. What do you mean?
That, like, what? Who is knowledge? Like, I remember seeing that in the video and going, wait, really? Am I missing something? And looking it up on the wiki. And it has, like, one attack, and it does, like, 100 damage.
You want to know the
And
funny
it has
thing?
full
The
resistance.
reason that they probably said that is because you just get it late into the game. So they probably just
Like-
thought that because it is, like, unlocked really late, it must be strong. That's
Like,
my only
truly
guess.
one of the opinions of all time. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, wow, this is definitely something. That was a really funny moment for me to see. Max is about to give me some Arctic Trooper lore.
Yeah.
Arctic Trooper was free to play vets.
Yeah, I heard that they were decent, but I don't know that they were top 10 in the game.
Literally top 10 troops. God, they must have been down bad as shit back in the day. Holy cow. Mass producing Arctic Trooper. Wait. No lower damage, no anti-air, but spammable. Arctic Trooper AS kill when? Max, is that the free-to-play strategy? It's like I'm looking into my crystal ball right now for a free-to-play AS strat. He's about to demote me. He just put the emoji. Okay. Yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. This kind of opened my eyes. Pearl, you've done us a service by putting this list out here. You've literally... Oh, this is like when Yugami told me that the field agent video
Oh my
was
God.
level 35.
Yeah, I have to remember, or I have to remind everybody that I talked to about the fact that, like, the field agent, the only content in which you'll see it being good was one video where the encounter was level 35, and it's not
And it was
useful.
infected boss
Yeah,
fight.
and it's infected. It's like it's not useful anywhere. I feel bad for the people that trained a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, like perfect level, perfect boss strike for it to succeed in.
Yeah.
And even then, the video is like 8 minutes long.
To be fair, I mean, very resourceful to, like, come up with that in that day and age, to, like, think to themselves, oh, I should use the field agent at level 35 during an infected boss strike. That's good thinking on their part, but it is kind of a bit of field agent propaganda nowadays, because a lot of people were referencing that video when I was getting back into the game about why the field agents were good, and I just believed them. And then one day I just took a look at the actual encounter level and I was like, oh wait, I'm just gonna stop training these guys.
Yeah, I bought into the lie as well. I took the red pill. I was cooked. BS 19 or 20 makes anti-grav look pretty good. Yeah, literally just because of Quake. Like, if you watch those videos, you'd be like, these are the best units in the game.
Yeah,
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, to be fair, a lot of the promo units were released to fill one specific niche during one specific boss strike, or, you know, piece of content, and they did serve their purpose somewhat well during that content, but immediately after, you'd be pretty hard pressed to find any good use for them. From what I can tell.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, this has completely changed my perception about promos. Actually, the next time we get a guest on, I want to bring this up with them. Yo, when we get BNAP on, I'm putting him on game.
Okay.
Write this down.
Okay.
Someone write this down.
The mental note has been
Sorry,
taken.
Okay. We have the recording. This is on recording. I'm putting him on game. Anti-grav was still pretty good afterward, but the BS make it look like a better legendary sandworm. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it really just warps the perception of players into thinking like a certain way. Back to boss strike, because we totally went on a side tangent right there. As much as I loved it, that was good content. This was supposed to be about boss strike and guilds. What do you think about them? Okay, because Simplicity said earlier, shit, where is it? It's totally buried now. I told him we'd get to it later.
Let's take a
Something
look.
about planes not being the only boss strike troop, which I know we've mentioned. I just saw it and I lost it. Sorry, I'm cooked. Oh, here we go. I would actually really like if the boss strike. Oh no, that's totally wrong.
We're cooked.
Whatever. Simplicity just said they would really like to see the boss strike reward. Oh, here we go. Max found it. Here we go. I hope they do other units for boss strike rewards other than air units. I feel like we've mentioned this before because I totally agree.
Yes.
How do you feel? Okay, this is super cope and super lame.
All right.
What if the tier 10 reward was a melee and a range fragment?
That sounds like a bad idea.
No, wait. To equalize the fact
Okay,
that's too OP.
What do you do
But
when?
is it?
Well, okay. I don't know that it's too OP because once you get like one of each, you don't really need additional copies.
I can already hear Macro screaming. Yeah.
But like, what do you? I guess that's my only thought is that it's actually not too OP. But the question is like, what's the point of getting past tier 10? Because having a bunch of copies of the frags isn't enticing in my opinion. Also, Mystic just said that if it was the Ironclad, I would have agreed immediately. Maybe.
You and Beanapper in the same boat.
Maybe.
Get it? That was a good one.
Okay.
My bad.
All right.
What's the point of doing AS? I don't know. Vials at that point, vials. Oh, coping for vials. Yeah, I know all of you guys are coping for vials, so don't even say that. Because the second you find out that thing drops like what 20 to 35 vials,
Yeah,
you are
something like
grinding AS every time it comes up. Corny. All right, I'm getting BM now. Yeah, it was a crackpot idea, but I had to throw it out there for something fun. In terms of them not doing, what if they did promo units as boss strike rewards? Because I'm on the train that I do not want to see only planes and aircraft.
No, yeah, I don't either. But I don't know what they would like if it was. So if they released promo units as the boss strike rewards, would you want them to just make new promo units for?
Yeah, fuck it, more units, more game.
Yeah, it's just some of them are really underwhelming. So
I think if you get tier 10, you should get a copy of the promo unit that comes with boss strike. That would be interesting, getting a tier 10 boss strike plane and a copy of the promo unit. Wait, and that can make promos not as exclusionary.
True.
Because if you hit tier 10, which most active guilds are going to hit tier 10, it's not that hard. Especially nowadays with how caught up the player base is and information-wise.
Yeah.
That could be interesting. I could like to see that. Or maybe just... I don't know. I could like to see that as just a one single time tier 10, and then tier 11 could just be the boss strike idea. Or
yeah,
boss strike,
if it was one time, I wouldn't mind that. Back to like the part of just having promo units be the tier 10 reward and then getting more of them. My only complaint with that would be, it would really suck to get the Raptor Lord or Jedrick, and then when you go for more tiers, you're just getting more of them. Like, I don't want more of them, right? So that's the only downside.
I think what they're saying is that you would get the tier 10 plane.
No, yeah, I get that part. I'm just saying back to like actually just having promos be the reward for the boss strike. It's like there's just gonna be some really bad units that you're competing for.
Jedrick and the Raptor Lord wouldn't be tier. That's like a tier 3 reward right there. Tier 10, like what could a tier 10 promo be? Nomad.
Okay,
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Wandering Samurai. That's a good one. A naval one could be Atmosphere, the diving troop.
Okay.
I'm cooking.
Yeah, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some good units, but there's also some really bad ones. I would be fine with most of them. I think that I'd probably complain if I was going for the Mammoth Matriarch or whatever it's called, or the Adult Sandworm, or the Flak. You know, that would kind of suck.
Always slandering my boy Jedrick. He is trash. I can't even front you.
But yeah, he is not good.
I think that would be interesting to see promos be in boss strike.
Yeah,
there's definitely enough good promos, and if they add more, you know, he's ugly and not good. Wow. Jedrick hater spotted. My goodness, real ferocious with that one. What other type of interesting stuff could they add to boss strike? I would just like to see them make more unique units. I don't know. My thing about it is planes kind of get stale. like obviously the boar is sick because like it has a cool look and is really good, but also it kind of functions exactly the same as like every other plane. It has like the same type of attack patterns and stuff like that. There's a little bit of variation and difference to them, but overall it's just a plane. Like,
yeah. The
I
thing
would like
with
to see them make more interesting planes.
the boss strike rewards that I do like is that they usually kind of somehow-ish tie into the aesthetic of the boss that they're, you know, supposed to be for. Like the snowplow one, whatever it's called. I can't remember. But that one came with Shroud, right? That's pretty cool. So or no, wait, that was the reward. Or that was the promo unit that came with it. So never mind. What was the tier 10, wasn't it like the Thresher or whatever it was called? I feel like I'm going crazy.
Oh, the Thresher tank?
Yeah. So like, yeah, that was it. So I mean, I know that they try and match the aesthetic a little bit, and if you just do promo units, some of them don't match the aesthetic at all. Like the Unicorn Trooper doesn't really match any aesthetic. That would be my
I
only
wouldn't want to see
complaint.
that. I don't know. I would just like to see more themed. Like Thresher tank was sick, so cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Like I don't know. That's the thing that kind of makes me even more salty about it is because like they will have green plane, and then drop the most awesome looking unit you've ever seen in your entire life.
Yeah. Well, don't diss the planes too much. I really like them.
But it's like attack drone, you know, Skyraptor, Falcon's Nest. The Falcon's Nest is terrible, but it looks so cool.
It looks really nice. I like the Zeppelin looking
The infected, bro, the Apex infected units look so sick.
They do.
And then we have like Maverick, Spider Wasp. Okay, if I showed you a picture of the Maverick, the Spider Wasp, and the Kitty Hawk and asked you to tell them apart, I don't think you'd be able to do it.
Yeah, probably not. But
Okay.
They're cool though, and you can't.
Hold on, I'm gonna get an image from the boss strike, and you guys are gonna play a game with me. You're gonna guess what unit it is.
Okay. Right.
All right, what unit is that?
The Kitty Hawk. I don't know.
You're wrong. Boomber.
Pooper.
Boober. What are the options? Just guess. What unit
Well,
is that?
Max probably knows
here,
what the
I'll-
answer is, so that's not fair.
Yeah, Max 100% knows the answer, so Max doesn't count. You guys have to guess.
I honestly don't know.
It's not the Z2 bomber humanoid. If that was your guess. All right, Mystic went onto the wiki and looked it up, but he's typing in his opinion right now. Not me having the wiki open. Yeah, I told you he's automatically cheating.
Okay, well, what's the answer?
That's the Maverick.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay. Here's one. Look at this. What is that?
I have no idea. I've never seen that in my life.
Max immediately, yeah, he knew that one. He had that one on log. That's the Kitty Hawk. Look at how similar they look.
Yeah.
And tell like I don't find that as interesting as like this. The dirigible. Oh my god, this thing is so awesome. Hold on. Look at this thing. The dirigible is sick. And that's kind of, I don't know. Units can be good, bad, whatever, but I really just like it whenever they look super cool.
Zeppelin. Okay. It is cool.
Shoot, even this, like, or like the Shadow Wasp. Awesome.
Yeah.
The Aero Bike, also awesome. I don't know. The UDL-4 gunship, we're cooking. Oh no, this is dirigible. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of Battle Nations Z2. If they did anything good, it was unit design. They were on point with design for units and such. Maybe not so on those planes like I showed earlier.
Yeah, sometimes.
But they were absolutely locked in with making cool ass units.
Yeah,
So,
they just were terrible at balancing, so some of them were really bad.
Yeah. And Madrona, I feel, has shown with like some of their concept art and such that they can make good units too. So I'm not expecting brand new units for this first boss strike. I am expecting Madrona to kind of open the doors to us seeing new units. I hope that they do. I would really like to see that.
Yeah. Well, we've been going for an hour and 21 minutes, so do you want to call it?
Keep going.
Say again?
Actually, that's about our video length.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
about
a
our
good
video length.
stopping point. Don't
Okay.
want them to become too long. I still have some. Oh, last question.
Okay.
What drops do you think will be in the first strike? What 3 units are we getting? Also, if anyone thinks it's boar 2, copium.
Yeah, it's
Boar 2 is so cope. Even the original boar, super cope.
No.
You're not getting boar. Stop it right now.
Let me look at the chart for all of the units.
In the original BS, did we even get units?
Okay.
Yeah, we did. In the first boss strike, the rewards were the spider wasp, the snake, and the maverick.
So what do I think it will be? Or
Yeah, what? Just off of these, no promos, no nothing. What 3 units do you think we're getting from
oh,
boss
they were
strike?
going crazy with Boss Strike 20. What in the world?
It was the last one. So
Yeah, I know, but they just threw everything at the wall. What do I think we're gonna get? Honestly, I think it's gonna be terrible units. I think it's genuinely. I think it's just gonna be the.
Oh my god.
Okay, here. Okay, I'm just gonna pick random ones that I think are boring enough for them to choose. It's gonna be the spider wasp. It's going to be the cobra, and the shadow hornet. Those are my 3.
It's an interesting one for tier 10.
Yeah, for tier 10. It looks cool. That's why.
I could see something like attack drone maybe as the first one. Give us like 3. I like. I don't know if you've seen AP streams. Snake is very Snake was gonna be my tier 7 reward that I think that they'll do. But my opinion is that they'll do maybe like attack drone. Attack drone's pretty balanced. But I do like AP's opinion that they should give us for the tier 3 reward 3 of them, tier 2 2, and then tier 10 just 1, because you can earn more tier 10 rewards. I think that they should give more, because isn't it really weird that you can earn multiple tier 10 rewards, but you can't earn multiple tier 3 and 7?
Yeah, it is.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Or maybe past tier 10, you just get all 3 again.
Well, but in the future, that allows them to reuse the unit and as a lower tier reward.
I don't want them.
Yeah, but it makes it easy for them to just throw something together.
I want boss strikes to come back in our black market idea. I need to hit the suggestion tab with that. That's another Oolkki suggestion.
I'm sure that they'll read that.
Tier 11 gives you a coin that you can trade in for past boss strike units, or tier 3 and tier 7 max is just cooked. Black market, where are you?
I think that was an idea from the suggestions. Maybe not.
It's an idea. Oh, it's definitely an idea now.
Okay.
We're cooking now.
It is a good idea.
If we get silver wolves, Chinook. If it's a silver wolf boss strike.
Okay, well, yeah, obviously, if it's a silver wolf boss strike, we're probably gonna get silver wolf units.
Okay,
but
that's not so obvious.
Yes, it is. Look, every single time.
Mr. Obvious, whatever. Anyways, yeah, I think we get, I think we get something like maybe spider wasp, cobra, not maverick.
Just going for units you like, not for units that are feasible.
I'm looking at the chart. Tier 10's kind of cooked. So I hope actually maybe we do get the base boar.
Yeah,
maybe your guys' cope is not so bad.
The tier 10 reward, the only one that's really worth going for in terms of actual usability is the boar. The rest of them are not that great.
I'm looking at the differences between the boar and the boar 2. What's it?
Even looking at this, it makes you realize that the meta was mostly defined by a handful of units, because most of these are not good.
Boar 2 inflicts poison dot.
Wait, what?
On its attacks? What? That's so random. I guess. I mean, the boar inflicts fire. I don't know. If we do get the boar, it'll probably be nerfed. Boar 1 and 2 share the exact same stacks except fire versus poison. Okay. Thank you, Max, for doing that. I was comparing the 2 pages. Okay, then we probably don't get the boar. I don't know what they're going to do for tier 10, honestly.
Wow, cop out answer.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. Maybe they just give us the snake as the tier 10 reward for AS killing purposes. They give us
I wouldn't
spider wasp.
Be upset about that, honestly. It's a cool looking unit.
Neither.
So
I don't mind them giving us a weaker unit for the tier. It is the first boss strike, and they do have to think about long-term game balance. and not slamming us with the Boar 2 out of the gate.
Yeah.
It makes my life more miserable. The doc is 70 page long or something. What doc? Snake will add like 30 more. Oh, I'm guessing for AS doc. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Madrona, if you're watching this, please add the snake so Max has more work to do. I beg of you. This is my only request from you guys. If you take nothing else I've said seriously, but you take one request.
You're using your one time?
I'm using the one time
Wow.
to make Max have more work to do.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I think that's a good place to call it, though. I'm not gonna lie. This is my most fun episode to date. I had so much fun with this discussion.
Yeah, it was fun. I like looking at the wiki and just talking to the community and stuff like that.
That's what I say. Sorry, Amp, you've been dethroned. I had a lot of fun in your session, but this one I was like actually giddy the whole time. Yeah, next episode we are going to be talking about time to wiki memorize Yugami. Yeah, get onto that.
Oh.
Next episode we are going to be talking about side content that they could add into the game. There's been a lot of talk about that, at least from my end, because I think that Battle Nations has a lot of untapped potential. I think that's going to be a super interesting episode. I'm going to cook super hard. I'm probably going to make some suggestions and then talk about them on the episode. Yugami, if you guys have anything else too, link it, send it to us, let us know before next Thursday. But I have some pretty sick ideas for side content that they could add into the game.
Okay.
Real quick, one last thing for simplicity. I would love for in the future they release a boss strike to introduce a new faction. I know that's way down the line, but I think it would be sick. I think you're in store for boss strike 2 with Mountain League.
Yeah.
Possibly. Oh wait, that's past level 70. Never mind. That's in the future. All right, but they'll definitely do a boss strike with them. All right. But that's it for today. Thank you guys for showing up. I had a lot of fun this episode. I appreciate all of you guys for stopping in, putting in your input and stuff. It makes this a lot more fun for us to be able to interact with you guys. If you guys have anything else from us, yeah, thank you, Mystic. If you guys have anything else from us, DM us, whatever you guys want us to talk about. We are open to suggestions because honestly, we kind of just cooked this stuff up during the week before, whatever is piquing our interest at the time. You guys have a good night and thank you for coming out.
Bye.